We don't get a lot of Nuketowns.
No, we're not getting in. We're back though.
What?
We're back.
What?
We're back in it, man.
Bro, you should have given me some warning, bro. I'm talking about Nuketown, bro.
Yeah, no, I wanted to catch you in your flow state, bro. I wanted to see what your unconscious vibes were really penetrating in that moment, you know?
Alright. What the hell? So everyone talks about flow state, you know, like, you got to get into flow, bro. 10x that flow, bro. How do you do it, bro?
But 99% of the people out there fail. Yeah, sick. So, like, what's really the secret? It's like, it's flow, man. It's like, bro, it's nothing, bro. It's just
You have a go, bro. You fucking
cohorts. Yep. So, I'm actually appreciating more our one-on-one time. I had this thought about like what it would be if you and I were just doing one-on-ones the whole time and just like the chaos would bring. And then like maybe I was like maybe fantasizing about like what it would be. Maybe it's too grandiose. Like, oh, it'd be chaos. It'd be, but the will couldn't even handle it, man. It's too pure. It's too reckless. It could be everything you want it to be.
Are you saying this because I called out Andrew Tate and like, you know, like on X, and I got a little bit.
Okay.
Listen, it didn't get a lot of traction, but I got like 10,000 views, right? So I got pretty excited.
Most traction you've like received.
Ever got,
right? Yeah.
And like I love Andrew Tate and his energy, but like he has to get called out on some of his bullshit, man. He's ultra masculine, like, dude, you gotta like escape the matrix with Bitcoin, and then you gotta fuck like 5 chicks, bro. But not on Wednesdays though, because it's haram, bro.
Man.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro.
Okay. So you guys are equals, you reckon?
Who?
You and Andrew Tate.
Bro, I walk with the one, bro. I have no equal, man. I'm just doing my shit, you know?
Yeah.
When you walk in the flame of the one through Christ, bro, you don't feel fear, bro. You just, wherever God places you, if it's in the fucking comment section and you're talking some shit, so be it, bro.
So you
it's
reckon...
gotta be, bro.
Okay, so you're in a room one-on-one, and let's say, okay, like it just so happens you're in a room one-on-one, right?
Yeah.
Like imagine they don't even know anything about anything. You're just in a room with them one-on-one. Do you reckon it's punch-on vibes? Because we have been in rooms with other men before, and like generally we've always like still stayed to our own and like done that, and there's always been a polarity between the two power groups out there, right? Do you think it's punch-on vibes, or do you think it's like inevitable punch-on vibes? That's what I kind of
I don't know
feel.
where he's at. Like, is he actually the character, or is he really like enlightened and trying to bring love into the world? I don't know. I have to suss him out and have a chat with him.
You've seen guys in booths, in clubs, and like you're just like freestanding and just like doing your thing, and like they can't move. You can move. You get all the girls they can't reach because they're like you're stuck in one place and they only get what comes to them, and it's a very niche kind of crew of women that come around, and you're like, bro, I've talked to that chick last week when you went around, man. Like, so you're just getting girls that like I talk to regularly, like, you know.
I don't know. Listen, me and you are brothers. They're brothers. I also think like Logan Paul and Jake Paul. Like, I'd love to sit in a room with all the brothers, bro. Those brothers, Andrew Tate and his brother, Jake Paul and Logan Paul. And I reckon we should have a chat, see how they're at. And if it's punch on vibes, fucking bro, like, I'll dance fight them, bro. I'll rap battle them, bro. I'm not gonna fucking use violence, man. My body's for my kids, bro.
We're getting demolished by like 5'5", 6'5" guys.
But why would they want to fight like someone who loves Jesus, bro? I'm just there to have a chat, suss them out, and you know, like, if you want to dance fight, we'll dance fight, bro. You know?
Don't you think that's the illusion though? Like, guys try to keep up that illusion of like, bro, I'm the hardest, whatever, and like, you know, there's a bit of like standoffishness against any other guys that are around, and that hierarchy, and it's all about women. And it's like, don't ruin that.
I'm married with kids, bro. I'm no threat to no one, bro.
That's true.
I'm no threat to. I'm a fucking married guy. I love Jesus Christ. I believe in the one, bro.
Maybe I'm thinking about when we're 20. When we're 20, I think that's what I'm like, kind of kicking.
Oh yeah, you're going back to an old. That's 100% things were different back then, and we always claim top spot in our minds. You know, as you do when you're growing up, you're top dog in your own mind, bro, and as you should be. You're your own king. But now it's about who the fuck is telling the truth, and are you helping men become the best expression of themselves? Or are you fucking toxic? Because if you're toxic, bro, and you got that much power, I think you got 24 million views on that post I'm talking about. Bro, if you're that powerful, you better be fucking telling people some real shit, and not that fucking fake plastic shit, you know?
I think we would have been friends with them actually. Now I'm thinking about peak physique, you know, just that aura that we had in the club and all that. I think we would be friends actually, inevitably be friends. I think we came with the same
frenemies? Or like enemies became friends, enemies became friends, became enemies?
Didn't that guy called Lawrence? Remember that guy? Just good looking other guys out there that like intersect with you just eventually, and like you generally have a good vibe. Like it's just like.
But was it always good vibes, bro? Was a bit of hater vibes there? I remember hater vibes, bro.
Yeah, but it wasn't big as like Andrew Tate though. Like Andrew Tate would. I don't think he would.
I think he's a warrior, bro. And warriors, whoever's a warrior and who knows, you know, your own discipline. If you're, you know, reached a high level, you know, I'm a black belt in Taekwondo, man. I got Jun No who believed in me enough to give me the black belt. So I'm a warrior, bro. I got warrior, you know, vibes in me, and I come from a Spartan background. You know, warriors when they meet, I'm not here to hurt anyone, bro. I'm here to fight for justice. So if we're on the same team, we're on the same team. If not on the same team, bro, we've got to walk our separate ways, bro. Yeah. But if the one wants it to happen, bro, like Bruce Lee, bro, it hits it by itself.
The one.
You know what I mean?
Oh, the one. That's so funny, man.
Bro,
Is that the plan?
Bruce Lee had believed in flow, bro. If the one wants it, so it is, and he's there.
Is that the Palantians, or is that the Nordics, or is that the you know?
Bruce Lee.
No. I'm saying like, do you know how like the forces that have guided humanity all this time, like have been like.
Bro, there's only the one, bro.
To like the Palantians or like the Nordics or whatever they're called, you know, and it's like, which one are you fucking talking about, you know?
Oh yeah, I know, yeah. Listen, I don't know much. As I said, that's not my realm, but I know that I literally saw a star in the night sky. It was as strong as any. I remember being shocked at its strength, and I'd bring my daughter out and I said, "Let's wish upon this star because it's a beautiful star." And it would call me all the time to look at it, bro. It fucking disappeared, bro. It's gone.
And you found it again? Somebody else took a picture of it or something you're saying? Or
well,
what
I'm trying
to assume should be?
Well, what are you going to do after you see a miracle? You know, you're going to literally say to yourself, I've got to figure out what this meant. So you go online and you kind of ask ChatGPT and it gives you some mystical answer. Mm-hmm. But what actually happened was that later on, I think on X or on Insta, I saw that NASA, very credible, had posted an image of this kind of capturing these two stars. And then I clicked that. I think I was seeing that particular. I don't know how I was seeing it. I can't give you an explanation. That's not possible. But I literally, when I saw that image, it's like, yeah, I think I saw those two beautiful stars.
And what was it about this star as well? You were saying it was just so bright. It was once in a lifetime kind of vibe. And you're like, was that just for me? Or was it an alien? What was the whole?
I don't know.
You didn't get into. It was just the mystery of it.
It was the fact that it happened, and because it could be anything. I didn't even try to confine it. Like, was it, you know, a contact attempt by a very advanced star? Like, there's star intelligence. Like, our sun, the star, is supremely intelligent. Okay. It's like the life on Earth, right?
So do you think you're trying to get in touch with Andrew Tate after all this, or do you reckon there's going to be any moment of?
I don't know. If let's have I'd love to have him on the podcast.
Yeah.
I'd love to chat with him and his brother, like all together.
Dude, that'd be
and
so
bro,
cool.
I just fucking think that we can probably get a good vibe going and share some ideas, man. That's what I really want.
Yeah.
But if they're talking shit on the internet, I have to, you know, I'm ego hunter, bro. Got to call them out, man.
Oh, identity reveal.
Oh no, bro.
You got one? I'm hunting it, bro. I got that perk unlocked.
Bro, I comment on Eckhart Tolle, and Eckhart Tolle is super enlightened, bro. And I'll still, you know, throw out some non-duality in there, you know, to get the audience and the commenters, all the punters out there having you can't take things on face value. You know, if maybe there's truth to something that Andrew Tate is saying, maybe you don't have to be lazy. Maybe you got to fucking stand up and be a man, but first start with loving yourself, bro. Let's start with the soft places and not go hard straight away, because men aren't born hard. My son didn't get born hard, bro. We get made hard because the world hardens us, but the true man knows how to tap into the heart energy, bro, and that's where Christ lives.
So who do you think is going to give up first, Tristan or Andrew Tate? You know, like age will happen. You know, even Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, it takes a step back. You know, like who's going to give up the most obvious telltale sign? Arnold Schwarzenegger was like in a vacuum, right? Like he decreased on his own time. There's no comparative force. Maybe Sylvester Stallone or something like that. But like between the two, it's going to be very interesting because they're side by side all the time. And I'll be like, bro, you gave up first. You know, you started decreasing the fucking weights on the bench press. You know, you've like, you know, your chest is going smaller. You know, there's always that body dysmorphia that will kick in. Like, who's going to be the biggest victim of that first and foremost?
I don't know. I don't understand enough of his brother. I only really watched Andrew Tate for a short period. You know, so I don't know, bro. I think they're both going to have a great life, and I hope they have, you know, plenty of kids and promote a healthy lifestyle, because they got good energy, bro. They're fucking powerful dudes, right? Yeah, you know, they've got audiences as well.
6 or 5.
Would you like him? Did you ever resonate with the message? What's your like take on the Tates?
Bro, they were innocent kids that got really famous and rich through just like, I would say gimmicks, but it's kind of like just by sneezing their way in there. You know, it's like they're just more excited to be rich and famous than anything else. I don't know if they've actually like harnessed the Zen where they can make devastating change with like one move of their wrist. Yeah. You know, like, you know, the absolute Zen where the wind rustles in the near distance because like they shifted their aura or their fucking Zen over to that tree, and it's like I don't think they've done that, but like, you know, it's interesting. They're just, you know, they're prophets in a new form of religion, which is like this masculine religion. They're like, you know, these prophets.
But they're Muslim, right? Are they Muslim?
Tristan Tate is a Muslim. They both weren't Muslim, but Andrew Tate became Muslim.
In prison?
In prison, I believe.
Why was that? Does anyone know why he became a Muslim? Because obviously he loves women, right? Is there anything wrong with that? No. I love women too. Especially when I was single. That was when, you know, like, you're open to all these new relationships. Why did he become a Muslim? Did he need God? Did he not have God before? It's surprising that Andrew Tate became a Muslim because, you know, it's very anti-sexual in the way that he's kind of sexual, right?
Did you say anti-sexual?
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, you can have multiple wives. You can have like if you
They're not like their women don't present in the way that Andrew Tate's women present. Is that right? Fair to say or not?
Well, is he even with Muslim women?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. He seems like a player to me. Like he's someone who gets a lot of different women. Is that true?
Why do you think he went to Islam?
I think he was scared, man. I think in the first time in his life, that fucking experience, that they were calling it a matrix attack. I think he felt the fear, and he had to turn to the one. And he chose to turn to the one through a religion, and the religion he chose was Islam. But I don't know why he chose Islam. I don't know that. Maybe the brotherhood was really strong, and he felt that God would protect him in that religion.
Do you think Christianity betrayed him? Like, okay, to go against Christianity, like that.
Was he a Christian?
Yeah, him and his brother were Christians.
I don't know. So I don't know if they were. I don't know what their background is. Are they Muslim origin? Was their dad Muslim? So I know they have a big relationship with their dad or something. Like their dad was a big influence in their life.
I think a lot of like African Americans, or even, you know, obviously in Africa, are Muslims. So there is like that because his father is African, you know, descent. So maybe there is that overlap. I'm not.
Maybe they were brought up with Muslim influence in their world. I don't know. So obviously we're going into religions now. Obviously, as I know enough about Christianity to feel like I understand the history and the theology. I don't know much about anything else apart from New Age spirituality. I know a bit about that, but really, like, is Catholicism, Greek Orthodox, are the structured religions? Are they preventing people from accessing Christ directly? Is the ritual and is the church and is the community around Christ removing the ability to understand the truth that Christ is already within you, or is the church changing to maybe adapt with that in the times? So go back to ego hunter.
Yeah.
That, I think even Eckhart Tolle talks about this, like this collective human ego. Like the ego is this sense of separation, and we're building gangs around these collective identities, these egos. And I really do believe that ego lives at the heart of what's sick with this world. Like if we got rid of egos and we all started to really tune into our divine self and our true nature, I think we would see the transition to the new earth, to heaven on earth, kingdom on earth, all those ideas that are in our religion and our theology. I think that's how we get there, bro. Is religion preventing people from realizing that there's no intermediary to God in the Christian faith, that Christ is the proof, the living proof of resurrection, which means that you can be born into your Christ consciousness or your God self here and now. You don't need a religion. You don't need a practice. You don't need a mantra. Christ stands for direct access to God and is the bridge to that. I think, and the reason I'm asking you is I think that religion is standing in the way from those realizations, and I think it's fucking part of the deep state in a lot of ways, and we've got to start looking at finding God directly and not through centralized authority banks. That's the best way to put them. They're all banking energy. If the Vatican's banking secrets, and it's got more secrets that we don't know about, then it's taking from the human our ability to learn. And only a bank would do that, and only a force of authority and imprisonment would do that.
Okay. Did you know the smartest guy on earth or something just said that Christ was God? So this is like some, like, obviously Twitter.
Thanks, bro. I am the smartest man. Thanks,
bro.
Thanks, bro.
Hey, smooth cat.
Yeah.
Well, the second smartest guy on earth pretty much came out and said, like, Christ was God. He's some, you know...
He figured it out, huh? Smart guy, bro.
Whatever the conclusion to that was, mad. You know, proven point all along. So that's...
Well, Christ is not a... You know, I got into a few more X battles in the comments. If everyone wants to jump on my page, Ego Hunter, and check out my replies. So me and this guy were going back and forth about Jesus Christ. And we're talking about kings. And I said, Christ is king. And he goes, well, you know, Dad, I started talking about how Jesus wasn't a king. I was like, Christ is not a person, man. Christ is the ability innately in all of us to reach God here and now. No intermediary. Now, what is God? Some people say it's the silence, the emptiness in which even our expressions are playing. Bro, there's a billion ways to access it, but God cannot be verbalized because it is already the word. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I feel like we've got to remember Christ. And I don't know if it resonates just with people who have got Christian ideas in their head, but I believe we need to remember Christ. And for me, the Son is the physical representation of Christ in my life. You know, like I'm looking at the sun, I'm remembering Christ, because the sun and the body, the mind and the idea of Jesus and God, and then the true elevation into the one unity consciousness, and that we could call that the spirit realm.
Do you think like the image, just like any kind of movie, even like you're watching Neo in the Matrix and all that, like generates energy, and that energy like propels you into a new life of living? And do you reckon it's an easy life, or do you reckon it's a harder life? And do you reckon maybe it's causing torment, in this world, to be like so in the faith of God and even in Jesus Christ, and to have the energy of the belief and the euphoria of the happiness of being saved, and then you go into the world and it's like it does not mix with the water. It's like the alkaline's different, and it's like you're against resistance every day by having faith.
I think in this realm that we're in now, so we could call this Earth's dark times, in this realm that we're currently all in, and we chose to be here, and we chose to be at this particular time in history, it's going to be fucking hard to walk Christ-like or Christed in the faith or as the truth, because the system's inverted. So if Christ is truth, then this system is lie. It's inverting the truth, and that's what the parasite of the ego is. We could call that the devil, but the ego will actually use the devil. It's very subtle like that. So it's hard, but you have to take a choice here and now. Do you walk as Christ with Christ, or are you a agent of the system that's sucking the energy from the people? Up to you. Blue pill, red pill, bro. I've made my choice. And up to everyone.
Do you think the vaccine was the chip, the 666 chip? Like, do you think it goes out, or do you reckon we got one more chance? Do you reckon it's over? Like you took it, you're over. It's like, oh, see you, lost soul. Fuck you. See you in your Satan.
I didn't take it, and I'm here with people who took it. So I'm here with the same people who took it. So we're in the same realm, which means we're all even. We're on the even playing field.
I took it after Mum took it. I was like, do you know what? She's gonna hell. I'm like, fuck, bro. Like, I don't know. It's not a very good system. Then, like, I thought maybe there'd be a divine, angel thought that would protect the good or something. When I saw Mum get it, I saw my sister take it. I was like, man, do you know what? Fuck that.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you right now. COVID was an onboarding for the synthetic reality, blue pill reality, which is obviously going against Christed ideas of second coming. The vaccine, it could be delivering through the mRNA information into your system, but you can de-mRNA as well. So you can get rid of that.
Wait, do you reckon God had like a safety net? It was very clear. It's very clear cut. So if it was, do you reckon there's like this? Hey, look, anyone that gets it, but there's some like natural remedies you can take.
I think stargazing or looking at the sun will automatically.
Wouldn't it be written in the Bible where it'd be like, whoever gets it? But if you look at the sun on enough, you can.
Well, what's Christ, bro? Christ in the physical realm is the sun. But you see what I'm saying? I already cracked that code. Okay, listen. It has to, if there is a antidote to the world, I'm going to call the antidote the red pill. So forget about 666. It's a hard analogy because it's hard to approach. But we'll talk about the red pill, blue pill analogy. COVID was an onboarding it was a blue pill behavior, and we've got to now take the red pill every day, regardless if you're vaccinated or not. And I don't know much about detox protocols, but you can definitely detox the spike proteins and all of that. Very possible. Now, if it costs money to detox those spike proteins, then it's not of God, because God would make a poor person as equally available to the cure as not a poor person. So the only democratized energy force in our light emitting information right now that powers this planet, it's called the sun, and we don't even know how powerful that information coming through those photons are. Yeah. We don't know.
Could you imagine it's like the exact end day and like the sun thing didn't work, and you're like, look, bro, I tried.
You know what I would say? I'm like, had a good punt, bro. Took a fucking punt. BTC, bro.
Better than anyone else came up with.
Better than go now.
They're sinking in the sand and their hands are coming. You're like, bro.
My son goes because of you.
He said if you took it, you're fucked. I don't know what to say to you, man. I don't know what to say.
It's so negative, bro.
It's really negative, man.
That's fucking
bro.
Give me a shot, bro. Do my best, alright? Mom, they're bullying me.
I looked at the sun for 30 hours.
I've got no eyes left. I'm blind, bro. It's like, sorry, bro. Do your own research.
Bro,
I don't know much about the sun or mitochondrial powerhouses.
His eyes are tanned, like the actual inside of the eyes are tanned, all the white parts are tanned, beige.
Man, that's hilarious. Bro.
It's like, sorry, bro. What do you want me to say, man? I love it. In the last moment, we all know what's true and not. It's like, yeah, look, bro, you took it. I don't want to say anything, man. You fucked up. I try my best.
Oh, sorry. So it was the mark of the beast. You are slowly dying out. Your physical body's going to be enslaved in a battery, and good luck, bro. But Tommy, you're not vaccinated. Come in, bro.
I'm going this way.
I say to God, I say, bro, let my brother in, bro. Let my brother in, bro. We got vaccinated. It's like, bro, do me a favor, bro. We're mates, bro. Get him in, bro. Get him in the club,
I don't know,
man.
bro. It'd be funny, like, because, like, to this point in life, there's always been a gradient. There's never been a definitive cutoff, right? Like, survival, excellence. It's all gradients, you know. Like some get through, some die, some get through. So it's always a gradient of change. But this is the only time in life where it's like a definitive cutoff. This is why it's been such a hectic, you know, mental, processing thing for us humans to like process, which is like, no, there will be a moment where it's like you're in or you're out, cut off, no gradient, no rectification, no nothing. You learn your lessons or you didn't, X and X and X. It's the most intense fucking thing, man. You're telling kids this. You're like, bro, there will be a moment where everything...
What, end of days?
Well, technically there's two versions. One is you'll be judged based on your sins, which is a gradient. You know, you can be forgiven for your sins if they're not too detrimental, like suicide or whatever. But then there's the actual end of days one where it's like, no. Cut off. There's actually a physical cut off while you're living based on what you decide and what you go with, and only then will you know.
But then what you're finding to realize is that there's infinite reality. So even this is just a story within infinity. So this is only this timeline playing out. And we're trying to piece together the timeline that we've chosen to come into. But then there's a timeline where you're just born as an infant in a heavenly realm again. This is only one way or one storyline that takes you into the heavenly realms, and you have this kind of completion, 0 to 1, then 1 to 0, this alpha to omega. This is only one experience possible for consciousness.
Now, can I ask you, do you think people that have like taken LSD and like hardcore mushrooms and all that stuff, like they've seen some wild shit, do you think they get to heaven, they're like, bro, I don't know, I'm a bit bored. Like, you know, I'm used to tripping out. You know, like, you know.
What if heaven was them tripping out on, like all the time?
Well, that's what I'm trying to think.
What if the heaven was a trip?
I'm really trying to like, you know, aspect it all out. You know, like, do you think like heaven overlaps with any experience we've had here on Earth? Like any, like we've had like wild creative flares and stuff. Like, is it like AI generated amazing content that like somehow taps into your neural processing, like cerebral, you know, where you're just in euphoria, like high peak euphoria all the time? Like, does it overlap with anything that we know of or think of, or like how would you conceptualize it?
Well, you just said it then, right? So if everything was always euphoria, then there'd be no euphoria because it'd be a baseline now. So like without contrast, you can't even have heavenly and not heavenly. So I think it's still going to be contrast, but I think you're way more selective.
It's such the scientific thinking process of like, well, heaven might be like, you know, downtime of. Look, it's just such an interesting breakdown. It sounds accurate as well, like what you're getting at. So
I don't know, man. Like as I said to you, my heaven as a child would probably, you know, when I was growing up, when I was 16, 17, would have been like heaps of hot chicks that just want me, right? Now, or an infinite clubbing when I was like 20, like infinite nights clubbing, right? Yeah. But now, as I said, like, man, I'd love just to, you know, just to inhale the herb, sit with my family, man, talk about our days, and you know, pat the dogs and do a bit of gardening and do some board games. Like, that's my heaven now. You couldn't convince me to go to a club now. There's no way. Yeah. But I'll come to your family home and, you know, look at your garden and ask how you're raising your kids. Like 100%, bro. That's the difference. My heaven is changing. So I think even in heaven, your heaven would change until you ultimately want to have that. Like, you know, when you go to sleep, right? There's deep sleep. Deep sleep is not a time when you don't exist, because you always exist. Deep sleep's a time where there's no movement in consciousness that you're registering. So like, you fucking deep sleep all the time, bro. That's the absence of movement. And of course you're going to come back there at some point when you've had enough heavens and enough hells and enough good and enough bad. You go into your deep sleep rest, man. But it's you know, then from the rest, even the movement begins again.
Yeah, it's like a kind of like it's weird, like a commitment, you know? Like if you're in heaven, if you imagine you're in heaven, it's eternal, it's forever. You got to hope that you love it. Like it's such a weird commitment thing. You got to like be like, fuck. You don't want to have one negative thought, you know? Like you don't want to jinx it. But you're like, oh fuck, I've turned this into a negative now. I'm like trapped somewhere. Like, you know, no matter how good it is, you're like, dude, it's not real though. Shit, I'm in the Matrix. I'm in another Matrix now. I'm in another Matrix.
You keep going down. Like,
just because you're like so
spiraling.
You spiral with language straight down.
Shit.
Oh no.
Maybe that was like God. Like when
now
God
all these angels can read my mind. They know that I'm fucking down. They're against me.
That signature activated.
It's like, man, just relax, forgive yourself. It's like, all right, man, I'll try my best, bro. It's like, you're in heaven, man.
Mom,
relax.
I can't forgive myself. Mom, I can't do it.
Try your best,
I'm
darling.
having a panic. I'm having a panic. Breathe, darling. We love you.
It's like I can visualize everything in the world that could calm me down. I'm so in fucking panic.
Oh, fuck,
You know,
man.
fucking dude, it's so funny,
Bro,
man.
do you reckon Andrew Tate will come on the podcast? Do you reckon at any point in time he could look at this and be like, bro, I wanna talk to these guys? Because, bro, I reckon he saw my post, bro. I reckon he's one of the 10,000, bro. I reckon he knew I was trying to tell him the truth.
I wish there was. Like, do you know how like Twitter just said that these low profile, low lacking, followers are going to be way more promoted or whatever, like low followed accounts, smaller
accounts, yeah.
So there's this unification of the lowest to the highest, because look, man, it takes a lot of effort, maybe dumb luck, but what's merit? Like, do you have like credentials to like even be on the stage to talk to someone? Imagine there's only a finite amount of people, and there is a force that actually connects them, bridges them straight away.
Oh my god, do you think X can do that?
Yeah, well, that's just one example. Imagine it's just like there is a system out there that knows all human beings and just like pairs them together. Goes, yep, there you go. You guys are the leaders of the race in this thing. Like, there's so much, like, how much injustice has there been about even athletes that could play on teams, but like there's politics in that team and they don't let them play, and then they pass their prime and they just haven't, like, they miss out on a few games and they can't find the right team.
Yeah.
So many athletes that have the potential to be superstars, but it requires almost protection. You have to have protection. And that's where political, mafia and, like, even sports and all that have their own, like, niche political stuff that, like, it's selective. It's selective of who they let in. Not based on merit, but based on, my son or my this or this. And a lot of opportunity gets missed out. So potentially, bro, I'd love to see him rock up in a Bugatti and us just have a conversation. I think what's very funny, don't forget this as well, they will interpret you based on what they see. So what do they see and how they interpret you? And then they come here and then we're just like, bro, it's fucking sick, bro. We're partying all the time. Let's have fun. And they're like, we thought this was going to be serious. A serious debate about fucking athleticism and modern day modernism. And we're just like, bro, fucking relax.
Bro,
We're
you're
fucking
right,
having
bro.
a good time. You want to have a talk on the podcast, bro? Like, we've had a few people on so far on this podcast, and all of them are like, what are we going to talk about? What are we going to, and then we fucking just go left, right, and center. And we're back to the best kind of conversation, which is this kind of dialogue here. And it's just, everyone loves it. Everyone goes, bro, can I come on again? Or like, this is sick, this is fun.
I think they'd love it. I think they'd enjoy it. I think it'd be light. It wouldn't be serious. But we'd get to some serious topics and we'd really flesh out, like, is there some distortion? How much truth can we really bring into the world? And I think our voice is important when it comes to the ultra serious approach. We're more relaxed, bro.
I don't think we're scared of death, bro. And I think I think what it does, it brings out a part of somebody that they miss, or that they used to be or sound, that they have always internally, but they're dealing with, like, adult stuff. A lot of this world government things are very adult material, and somehow, like, despite that, we're in the crux of it, and then all of a sudden we're talking about, like, fun stuff, and it's just what is it, de-escalating it. It just fucking brings you back to a great baseline.
Grounder, yeah.
But it's a great baseline. We're still talking about it, but man, no fear of death, dude. No one's dying.
Why aren't you afraid of death?
Even when COVID was happening, bro, we were never, like, fear of dying. Like,
no.
So imagine all the chaos. We're still playing smart, but, like, we weren't scared of dying. So we're great people to talk to during chaotic times, because we're like,
no panic.
We're not panicking, bro. Fucking relax, man.
Why? Was it because of Jesus Christ? Was it because of God? What made you strong, bro? What makes you strong daily?
Lord of the Rings. Such a good movie, though. Fucking really. It's obviously all movies correlate with religion, and therefore, movies do have a good impact. Like, seeing Frodo win, you get to see, like, actualization of like virtue.
Yes.
You're like, man, this is great thing. So, like, you get so, like, magnetized to it that, like, you forget about caring about death. You're like, bro, I've seen good triumph over evil, man. What else is there?
Don't you want to do it yourself? Don't you want to be the good guy that physically embodies the virtue and triumphs over evil? Because that's what I want. I want to be the embodiment of faith in God. That's my mission for this lifetime. I want to embody faith in God. William Wallace, man, he did it, And for him, God was the love for his wife. And that's what's beautiful about God, because God can appear in your life like a pure love for your partner and your children. So, even Darth Vader, bro, was redeemed by his children. I love that story, because Luke redeemed the father, where the father couldn't overcome the challenge of the dark. The son could, and he saw his son. He saw his son fight the darkness, bro.
Bro, with ChatGPT, it's allowed me to lift the veil of that battle. And man, do you know what's so stupid about it? It's not like you vs the other cool, merited guy. Like, have you watched Heat? Al Pacino and...
yes.
Do you know that the coolest guys against one another, mind for mind, tick for tack? Everyone else is so dumb compared to them that they're, like, orchestrating everything. So it's either success or failure based on their decisions.
Yeah.
Bro, you're going against losers, man. Like, there are a pack of them, and they're all, like, don't understand what you're talking about. And they just try to shun you off because, like, it's just too confronting to talk to the smart, educated, sharp guy. And so, like, that's what justice looks like now. It's like, you're just going against people that are baffled by what cool looks like, and they just like don't even listen to it. So there's no actual like conflict. There's no actual traction in the conflict. It's just like mass. It's like the hordes. It's like the golem hordes. There's just so many of them. Just like, oh my god, it's disgusting. I don't even think I can like push them all back because they just keep coming and they're fucking numb. It's like a trend line. I understand now what the trend line looks like in real life. It's just like, bro, we never even listened to you in the first place, bro. We can't even understand what you're saying. You're not making a change here, man. We're going in this direction. We've already decided it based on our ugly personality choices, you know? And yeah, I've listed the veil, bro. I've tried to battle it. I just realized there's no cool story there. It's just what's going to happen in life is going to happen. Predictive data shows that they can predict the future, and I know exactly the force behind it. And it's like numbskull, fucking just laziness, you know. So,
man, listen, I hear you. I see where you're coming from. I hold a different perspective. You know, I'm all about embodiment, man. Like, I want to embody it. Even if I go, as you said, even if I go down and I fucking didn't get it right and I was wrong and all my hypotheses and my thesis was wrong, at least I fucking went out embodying it, and I could demonstrate it to my kids that to have fun in life, you've got to be authentic. Yeah. And to be authentic is you can't be afraid.
Are you going to go to 60 with the attitude of constant battle? Or, like, we're talking about old age now, you're going to keep going the battle route? Or are you eventually going to watch it like a movie?
I'll always get involved, yeah. Hands in the clay.
You reckon you'll always have your
I love it, bro. I love action. You know,
That's good.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm not going to do things. I'm going to play smart. It's a very smart, intelligent approach. You know, I'm not here to battle a system. I'm here to create a new version of my reality, and I have to, you know, I have to be honest and authentic in that expression.
So you walk into a room, all of them are just like dumb tards, right? They're just like moving slow, old thought processes, old programs. Would you take the time to reprogram and try to build them up and, you know, foster like an appropriate environment, knowing full well that like every other pocket of the world like probably needs your help, and, you know,
Mitchell,
you still would rise. You find the problem, you'd identify it, you go, I will fix this. You say Christ is Lord.
Listen to me, bro. Listen to me. I know what you're saying. What I would do is what God wills. I'm only a vessel for the one to express itself. I have no... If God says go left, I go left. If God says go right, go right. I don't question it anymore, man. So if I'm in that room and God says do that, do that. But I think, you know, the laws of these kind of vibrations and how vibrations match, I don't think I could be in that room. I don't think God puts you in a room that you're not a vibrational match for, unless there's something that you need to transcend. So at this point in my life, I'm just accepting all life's opportunities. And if it's hard, it's hard. And if it's fucking scary, it's scary. But I've got to walk in faith and embody faith, because without faith in yourself, which is God, and God is the self, and, you know, I am, and all these beautiful ideas that really point directly to our true nature. You know, without that, then what the fuck are you doing? You're just a body on a planet in a mind, suffering the elites who are just dark families who just want to control you because some parasitic thought form infests their mind from an early, you know, chimpanzee evolutionary strand or timeline. Like, man, fuck that shit. It's time for change. Fucking decentralized intelligences, Christed nodes, wake up. Let's fucking make shit happen, and, you know, just freedom.
There is so much room for movies to be made on the formation of the elite, the concept of the elite, like the dawn of the age of the elite, you know, like. But I guess you know, time to wind down a bit now. You know,
good to stop there, because, you know, that's probably a good episode for another topic.
Bro, we embody it, bro. It's coming out eventually. Stay tuned, guys. It's coming out, man. We're like, honestly, we bleed this stuff. So it's just like our perspiration literally sweats this fucking content, bro. It's just wild, man. I feel like
that was a good one.
That was a very good one. It was a good, really high rhythm one. It's yeah, I sometimes feel in awe of it at the end. I go, bro, that's sick, man. My kid's gonna listen to this. Like, anyone I talk to can listen to this, and this is like, catch up to me on what I'm like, you know, like, obviously you're gonna have to go back and watch it all, but, you know, it's so good to have something that represents you and speaks for you. We were in Colombia, and I remember talking to these two girls, and it took a lot of energy to reintroduce yourself to new people all the time, especially good looking women. You know, you got to impress them. You got to like say the same stories over and over and over again. That what they really show off ones, the one that show off a lot of your talents and attributes in the story, you know. And I remember a point I got a bit like proud. I was just like, man, I'm fucking over it. I'm over the energy it takes to constantly and like the make or break in it. Like, you got to say it perfectly with the right emphasis and like the right personality type. It's got to be congruent and all this stuff. And I was so over it, man. And finally, we have something that does it for us. That's solidified in time, and someone can go in their own time and digest it and think about it. You know,
I'm just glad it's out there. I'm glad that we talk about important things, or things that are important to us anyway, and we give everyone an opportunity to hear topics and conversations and such a variety of ideas being shared between us. And I had feedback the other day. It's like someone saying like, I'm just glad to know that other people think like this and are talking about this stuff. That was huge for me because we're not alone. We're always in a community of some sort. And this allows me to speak my mind and be open in a great format, which is a conversation. And if this conversation is happening, there's billions of conversations happening. You know, and being in the right conversation, I think, is the key and the joy to life.
Yeah, I think new technology would be built around a community that spoke this language and had all the power. You know, like a party that actually, or political party that actually had this talk state, and then go, look, bro, we're just going to go for what works. We're not going to try to, you know, we're talking to James last week, and we're saying like all these different. I was talking about, you know, immortality or whatever. Well, and then the unification of people is like, well, that's never going to happen. Well, imagine we got rid of that connotation of never going to happen and just found what's effective that would work to solve the problems that we face today, that stop us from immortality or stop us from living a life worth living forever. Like, it would be great, man. It would be amazing. You know, education would be different. Social dynamics would be different. People would not go to social media anymore. There wouldn't be no online life. People would not be like addicted to online because life would be more exciting, and new things would be happening in the real world, like a play center. You know, like the best kindergarten there ever was, but for adults. You know, or for all people. You know. Well,
that's the new earth in my mind, man. Like, I love to keep that idea alive in my mind. An earth that vibrates like that and good vibes only, you know? And everyone's supporting each other, and the government and systems are the most intelligent they can be and evolve intelligently. 100%. Let's do it. Let's make it happen.
Nothing's been more addictive than online so far, outside of making money and making other people suffer. You know, so nothing's come around that's been more addictive than that's been helpful as well. Like money-making capitalism and, you know, that's come around, but yeah, nothing's come around that's actually stopped you wanting to go online to, you know, take up that spare time. So it's like, it's interesting.
Yeah, man. Well, as always, thanks for the chat. Love you, man.
Love you too, bro.
Thanks, guys.